welcome back to the Geek Blend and another Star Trek watch party. We are a little later than normal tonight, but we are here, and we're going to watch one episode tonight instead of two, since it's a little bit later. But again, as usual, I'm joined by Tim and Greg. How are you guys doing this evening?
Excellent. How are you?
Doing good. Did you guys have a good Sunday?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? Good. Good.
That wasn't very convincing.
It's a good Sunday, just a long day, and after last night, so
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but it was fun. We had a good time, so yeah. And tonight
I got 3 more Hershey's, so someone gave them to me. They didn't like it, and I'm like,
really?
Keep sending it my way. Yeah, so.
Hey Apollo, what's going on, man? I see you're grinding away on YouTube for your Ghost Recon outfits. Nice job, nice job.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he says he has 10 African countries left, and Greg says to conquer. That's what it sounded like to me.
Nice.
Yeah. But good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. Your memes, the memes are real. They're everywhere.
Yes.
Tim, you're working on your Mandalorian review. Is that correct?
Well, it's less of a review and more of a. You'll see. Hopefully, when you wake up, it'll be there. So.
Good. I see Ryno.
It'll be fun.
What's up,
Oh,
Ryno?
hey,
How's it going,
Ryno.
man? And Ryno will actually be here for trivia tomorrow night.
That's awesome.
That'll be awesome. Very awesome, man.
Gonna try and break that top 50 percentile.
And tonight's episode is I Mud. It is a a Mud episode.
Okay.
Do you guys remember this episode at all, or is it one of those ones
Yeah.
where okay?
It's fun. Yeah.
Really? Good.
Yeah, lighthearted. Not very deep. It's
No.
good mixed episode, I guess.
Yeah, and at the end I have something really nerdy I can share, but we'll get through it first.
Okay. Ryno apparently did a handstand yesterday after Mara's stream, and we might get to see it. Don't say that, man. You're gonna get Apollo's blood pumping, man. You're gonna get his heart rate to rise.
I totally forgot to watch her stream. I guess because we didn't have one, so I didn't even think about anyone else's.
I know.
I was in there watching for a good chunk of it.
I wasn't even home, honestly. I had to haul kids around town, so.
But I mean, honestly, there was this dude. Once he got on the stream, I'm like, oh fuck it, I'm out.
Who was that?
Ryno.
Right.
Oh yeah. I would too.
Like, oh man, he's gonna be on there. Fuck this.
We're gonna get cussed out in the
now.
chat here. Watch.
Yeah.
And then it became the 19 fucking Ryno stream where like they literally played a game of like 3-card money with fucking Ryno avatars. Everybody changed their name to Raging Ryno and his avatar, and it was like, guess who was in Mara would shuffle them. I think that's how the stream ended.
I wonder if she left it up. I might have to go check that out.
Yeah, what was it? Steph, Ryno, Mara, and Ryan.
Oh, nice.
Ryan Kendall, all were Raging Rhinos.
All the Raging Rhinos. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, and I, because of some stuff that happened this evening, I missed Ryan's stream, unfortunately, and I'll have to go back and watch that as well. I started watching it, listening to it in the car on the way home, so, yeah. But, did he have a good stream?
Subhuman.
I didn't catch the end of it, but it started off pretty good.
Oh, good. Mara's unlisted her stream, but I still got the link, so cool. I can watch it. Awesome. I'll have to watch that. Hey, Subhuman, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope your travels are safe, buddy. Hope they are.
Hope you
And
got
you get
out of
some time off
Amarillo.
soon? Yeah, no kidding.
Because that place sucks. I used to have to go through there when I was driving back to California.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to copy the link and share it for the watch party, because I had the watch party set up and everything. So.
Oh, no.
Damn, that sucks, man. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Holy shit.
That sucks, man.
That's bullshit.
All right, watch party link is coming. Okay, link, not ink. There we go. There it is. Hey, Daniel.
Hey,
what's up,
Daniel.
man? Daniel's video in Lethal's birthday.
And thanks for the
was
compliment.
hilarious.
What was it now?
Hilarious. Daniel's video in Lethal Lightning's video happy birthday thing was hilarious.
I need to go back and watch that.
You do. It's great.
Was it during the full Aussie?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I tuned in really late to that one, so.
Oh, Ryno finished Cobra Kai season 2. I still need to watch season 1.
Yeah, it is
Maybe I'll do that
amazing.
this
All
week
of it's
and then
amazing.
Make a review of that. So I should go back and rewatch Karate Kid 1 and 2, and then watch Cobra Kai after that.
I was gonna watch
Maybe
it,
I'll
but
do
then
that.
Ryno suggested it, and then I was like, nah.
I knew that was coming. Why did I not know that was coming? Oh my god.
Like, if Ryno likes it, fuck it. Can't watch it now.
Yeah, well, if anybody's in the chat wanted to watch along with us, I put the link in there. All you have to do is have Amazon Prime. You click on the link, it'll take you right to the episode where we are. If you guys want to watch with us. I didn't even read the description for this one. I usually do, but I forgot on this one as well. It's
Well, you
season 2,
remember
episode
Harry
8.
Mudd, so.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, from Mudge Women.
Yes, I remember him, yeah. And I will always remember you guys telling me that Rainn Wilson plays him in some of the future stuff. So
Yeah, and it sucks.
God.
It sucks because, I wouldn't be against that, but just the fact that it's STD, I mean.
Well, his character's nothing like it. His character is the same in name only.
Wow.
He's like this super villain character in Discovery, where he gets some device that allows him to manipulate time and go through a time loop.
what?
So he can kind of correct his mistakes, almost Groundhog Day style, to get what he wants out of Discovery. He's literally a supervillain instead of just this kind of and Harry Mudd's supposed to be this kind of used car salesman kind of character, not a supervillain.
Yeah. Good grief. And I don't care
and
what
I
anyone
love Rainn
says.
Wilson because I fucking love The Office, and I love fucking Dwight Schrute. It killed me to see that. I'm like, just don't call him Harry Mudd. Make him any other character but Harry Mudd, and it would have been fucking fine. But you had to make it Harry Mudd. Why?
It's stuff like that, Greg, and the way it looks. It's another multiverse. It's another alternate universe. It is not consistent with what we're watching right now, or what we're about to watch.
No, but
it can't
literally
be the same
just name
reality.
him something different, and it would have been a much more palatable episode. Where it was it's interesting, this time loop and how they have to deal with it, and how Stamets, because he's high on the mushroom spores, can't is not as affected, and he's aware of the loop that's going on, and he's enlists people to try and help him, and of course Mikey Spock saves the day. He can't help that. That's got to be every single fucking episode. But literally, just name him something other than Harry Mudd. Why make that connection if you're not gonna be true to it?
Yeah.
That irritates the shit out of me.
What's up, Red Lantern Megatron?
Red Lantern Megatron.
We are now
okay.
Red Lantern Megatron. What you said you're angry? What's your anger about, dude? They do something to Transformers, or are they going to be doing something to Transformers that they're doing to other pop? I mean, to be honest with you, I'm surprised they haven't done something to Transformers yet. I'm sure it's one of the next ones on the chopping block for the woke culture to infect. So.
Oh, by the way,
Well, it's built into their name. They'll be able to transform from dick to vagina, so they'll be Transformers. Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
By the way, I've been blocked by J. Michael Straczynski, because I guess a few months ago, I went to his Twitter profile to see what was going on, and he's writing some book, and I noticed all this partisan bullshit, and he's the biggest partisan. I'm not saying he's political. You can be political. I don't care as long as you back up what you say. But he's so partisan. No matter what, if you're on this side, you're bad. And I retweeted it and said, it's really sad when someone that, is such a great creator is this partisan, and now I'm blocked.
Of course.
What a pussy. What a puss butt. I mean,
Well,
just, reply and say, well, no, because he knows he's a partisan. He always has been.
Yeah.
He's been on the internet since the early 90s, before like the advent of the internet. And he's been that way. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's pretty par for the course. See, and the funny thing is these are the first people that'll whine and use the terms like, quote, dehumanizing. Mm-hmm. But what they do on Twitter, and I'm talking about the most egregious ones, celebrities, non-celebrities alike, are the ones where like they literally, based on who you're voting for or your political leanings, you are literally the Antichrist and the devil. So any action taken against you is, in their mind, just justified. And you really have to, like, a person who really truly believes in their heart of hearts that a person who simply votes for the other party is literally the devil. They're a threat.
And it's not just the other party. It's if you don't support their guy.
Right?
You could like abstain from doing anything, and you'd still be just as bad because you're not.
Silence
with them,
is
you're against
violence,
them.
right?
Yeah. It makes me sick, but anyway. And I mean that it wasn't even harsh. What I said wasn't even harsh. So
no. Well, today I found out I was blocked by some all Star Trek is good Star Trek person.
Oh, I saw that, and you're like, victory.
Because, yeah, I'm like, victory. Because, like, I've never interacted with this person ever. And William Shatner quote tweeted him, and I'm like, oh, that's strange. I can't see the tweet. And I'm like, oh, I'm blocked. So then I, logged on to an alternate account that, I may or may not have. And, I saw the tweet, and I'm like, oh, I've never interacted with this person. I checked my own block list, and I'm like, oh, I didn't block them. That's weird. Because I do block some of the all Star Trek people because they're just nauseating to me. But like, yeah, I'm like, oh, they must have saw me tweet out my impressions of the last episode of Star Trek Discovery. Because I did go on a little bit of a tweet storm while I live tweeted watching it.
You kind of did. Yeah, I saw.
When was that? I must have missed all that.
I saw that.
Oh, I must have tweeted like 20 tweets about the episode with like screenshots of like just how dumb it is.
But when? When did you do that?
Friday morning.
I freaking hate the algorithm. I'm gonna have to just like, get notifications for anyone I want to hear from, because nothing shows up in the feed that I want to show up. So
yeah, you get a bunch of garbage. Some dude like retweets like 19 things, and it's like and it's like Japanese anime stuff, and it's like,
yeah,
all right, turn off. I'm gonna hide retweets from this user. Like, I'm not gonna like not follow them anymore, but like, I don't really. If they're gonna do that, I don't want to follow their tweets.
Yeah,
or their retweets.
Right.
Because there's Twitter users that literally, like, if you look at their profile, like, they never have a thought of their own. They only communicate in the form of retweets.
That's one of the first things I look at, actually.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of those people. Like, retweeting stuff is fine. Like, go ahead and do it, but like, you got to have someone like if at least half of your stuff isn't your own original thoughts, then why do I need to follow you if I can just follow the persons you're going to retweet? Like, you're the middleman I can cut out.
I agree with that.
Show. I could be blocked too by a lot of people. I wouldn't even know it, but yeah. That's what I did. I turn on notifications for people I want to pay attention to. I just go to my notifications and look at those accounts. I rarely anymore, in the last week or two, I've cut it out. I rarely anymore scroll through the normal feed. So
I do, depending, if I'm bored or whatever, just laying in bed, can't fall asleep, I'll just like scroll through and see what everybody's up to. But
yeah.
There's some that I find myself, I just go to their pages. Like right now, like William Shatner's is one that I'll actually like go to his like profile page and read his tweets, because he's not partisan. Like, I don't know which way he votes.
Correct. Yeah.
I can kind of suspect, but like, he's not very overt about it. In his profile, it says non-political and everything. He sticks pretty close to it, but he's got some pretty snarky replies to the people that come after him, and that's entertaining as fucking hell. He's like, he's a clever old coot.
Well, people say it's not him running it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is.
I don't care.
It is him running it. It's 100% him. We know this guy. That's how he is. So it's not that hard to tap and make words on a phone. So it's him.
Right. And, you know, he'll be pretty candid sometimes because people ask him questions and, you know, he's like, well, here's the deal. Like, I think somebody asked him, like, you know, the time in his life where he was kind of trying to distance himself away from Star Trek. And he's like, yeah, we go, you know, we kind of all go through it. We're asked the same, like, 50 questions, like 1,000 times when we do this convention circuit and stuff like that. And it is kind of, it does grate on you because everybody asks it like they're the first one to ever ask that question.
Yeah.
And you're like, I've gotten this at my last 10 stops. So, like, it does kind of wear down on you. And, you know, he said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, so, but, like, he's like, you know, I'm an actor. I didn't want to be typecast into this one thing. I want to be able to show that my talents in other things. And he has had a pretty productive career outside of Star Trek, actually, with TV series and things like that. I mean, Boston Legal,
probably
DJ
Boston
Hooker,
Legal
whatever.
was his biggest, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that was probably some of his best, but, like, that show where he was, like, the grumpy old dad, it didn't last very long. I fucking love
shit
that
my dad
show.
says or something like that.
Yeah, I love that show, and
I
that
need
one
to see
didn't
it.
get time to develop. He was good. He was kind of good at this. It was a good role for him.
You know what else he was good on? Third Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember him on Third
I
Rock.
forgot he was on Third Rock.
He was fucking hilarious. I mean,
I
go
believe
Google,
it, but
go to YouTube and just find his scenes, and you'll be good to go because he was hilarious on that show.
Yeah, I don't either one-man show. I don't care why anyone would really understand or why they would care why somebody voted specifically.
yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Well, getting back to the Shatner thing really quick is like basically he summed it up and he finished up with basically like, you know, I've come to appreciate the fandom. You know, kind of as I've grown older and everything like that, and then I've kind of re-embraced it and everything, and he basically was saying like, you know, I think, you know, it's probably pretty typical for an actor, like they want to distance themselves from the previous roles, want to show their things, but then they kind of come back to, over time they grow to appreciate the fans' adoration and things like that, and then begin to reciprocate it back. So it was like, and it was a very short tweet. It was like one post, but it just kind of summed up very nicely, kind of like, this is what I went through. And like, we know Leonard Nimoy went through the same thing because he wrote 2 books, right? One was called I Am Not Spock.
Not Spock. Yeah.
And the first one was I Am Not Spock. And then he later wrote I Am Spock. And he went through that same kind of thing. Whereas like, look, I'm an artist. I can do more than just this one role. And then he kind of came to be like, you know, hey, this one thing that I was involved with, how amazing was that? That's really cool. Like, I was an idiot kind of to distance myself from that because this is the shit that like actors starve to death dreaming about getting, and I got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm recognized all over the world. I've touched so many lives in a positive way. Like, why would I turn my back on something like that? And I think even like a Mark Hamill has gone through like a similar thing. Although he's definitely partisan. But anyway, sorry.
No, you know that intro that I gave you guys a preview of the other day? Well, I rewatched a lot of Galaxy Quest scenes when I was putting that together. And man, that was like, you know, it's a comedy, but those scenes at the convention were like spot on. I mean, spot on. It was drama. It wasn't even comedy. Like at one point he's like sign. That's kind of like their life. And in some ways you feel bad for them, but in other ways it's like, they're making a shit ton of money and, you know, they can put up with it. But I can understand them getting tired of being that person, you know.
Oh, I could definitely see that it'd be a grind after so long. Like, even with people coming up to you and saying, like, you're my favorite, you're my hero, and all that stuff, it's just like, you and 10,000 other people, man. Like, like, you know, because we all, like, no matter how much we love our jobs, you know, if we're fortunate enough to be in a career that we really love, like, even the people that really love their jobs have days where they don't, you know?
Always.
They're no different. And when they're on that convention grind, it's a fucking grind. And they're up there like, they're kind of like fucking circus freaks, just on a tour. And they're like, it's a traveling museum. Everybody kind of shows up and pokes the animals and then goes back home and everything.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I absolutely get in Galaxy Quest. Like, I totally understood that because I've been to some conventions where some of the people weren't on as much as maybe the last time I saw, you know, where they were just like, a little wore out, kind of a little tired of doing it, or maybe just didn't want to be there that day. Didn't have a good day, not having a good week or whatever, for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and even some of the ones that are the biggest dickholes on Twitter, George the guy, were fantastic in person.
That's good.
To meet
That's good.
and interact with. So
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Definitely.
Are you guys ready to start today's
Yes.
episode?
Let's get to
You not have
Mr.
the
Harry
mirror
Mudd.
tonight, Tim?
Hmm?
Tim, do you not bring them? Are you not going to put the mirror out tonight?
Oh, yeah. I better put the mirror up. Yep. Give me a minute.
Okay.
And what's your shirt, by the way? It looks like a pixelated
Star
shirt.
Wars something.
Yeah.
Is it a video game?
It's like a pixelated Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah. Had it for a while.
I'll be right back.
Cool. Hey, Zacharot. How you doing? Hey, I wanted to bring this up too. Greg, I forgot that remember the droid we saw in the fucking Mandalorian was another member berries? It was fucking R5 from A New Hope.
Oh yeah, I know.
I noticed it.
Scorch mark and all.
Yeah, I thought I heard it properly, but then I rewatched the episode, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might have caught it in another stream or something like that. Or see, to me that's member berries that I just don't get anything from.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Like that doesn't. Like, ooh, R5, and I'm just like, again, how, like Ryan said it, I don't know if it was on his stream or it was on, I think it was on Friday Night Tights when they were discussing it. Like, you guys, by including all this stuff and connecting all these things, they're like, you're making the world smaller, not bigger.
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds that the dude that finds Boba Fett's armor also finds Anakin's pod racer? Who also got saved by the Jawas that had R5. Like, when you start putting all these things together, it's just like, it's just ridiculous. You know, at first it's like, ooh, fan service, look at this, remember this. But then when you think about it, it's like, oh, really? What a small fucking universe that all this shit connects.
Yeah. Massive coincidence.
Like, it's way too incestual.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You're on mute still, Tim.
I said it's just the Force at work.
Yeah.
right.
Thank the
Sure.
Force.
Thank the Force. Oh, that line made me cringe. Not as bad as the fucking stupid ass.
Ryno hated that.
Goddamn.
Sure.
Fucking sand people talking. That just always take the cake.
Well, that winds up in my video too. So
Good question there, Megatron. Yeah.
I don't really see anybody say that they really liked it. I mean, some people are like,
I saw a lot of
that
people
bad.
say they liked it. I'm like,
The talking part or the episode in general?
oh no, not the talking.
Oh, the
part.
episode in general.
Oh, the talking part. The episode in general, there's a lot of people that.
Oh, a
Yeah.
lot of people are slobbing that Disney knob. I'm like,
I mean, there were some fights today in our community. I mean, literal fights that I'm like, man, I can't even watch this. It's making me uncomfortable.
oh my god.
So
I posted it on
Really?
my Facebook page about it.
Yes.
People were like, did we watch the same episode? It was like the
I
best
saw
thing
that,
Star
yeah.
Wars. Tuscan Bob. Can't wait for next week's episode, Tuscan Bob.
Yes, Tuscan Bob will be back for episode or chapter 10 of The Mandalorian. So if you
that stupid chapter number.
if you liked Tuscan Bob's review or summary of chapter 9, he will be back in a slightly changed format. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see what the new one will look like, so it's a little easier to read. Because I redid the review and changed the layout on screen so it's a little easier to read the subtitles. So
yeah, and if you
still
didn't
got
like
that
it,
all.
then there's something wrong with you. So
Yeah.
So I cleaned up that stuff, so it's ready to go. I kind of have a template made, so I should be able to just drop in images and text to do. I'm basically at 90 to, because I'm going to guess most of these episodes, you can sum up the entire plot probably in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. And
yeah, that was
having
really
a
great,
plot
actually.
that is, really
Thanks,
small.
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. It is. It absolutely is. I love Tuscan Bob. Hope you're doing good, Ryan. Hope you're doing good, man.
Press F in chat for his Uncle Bart.
Yes, I can't believe
Who got
Bart
eaten
is
by
stupid.
Who got eaten by Sandjaws?
Tuscan Bob was the best part so far. That is correct.
No, he will be back
I'm just
for
going to say
10.
this. I said in my review as well. Why is there some shitty looking special effects in this show? It's $100 million an episode. Is that correct? Why?
No,
Where's the
No,
money
I think
going?
that's the whole
season.
season. That's the whole season.
So it's probably like 10 to 15 million per episode, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
So
actually not
where
as
the fuck's
expensive
the
as Star
budget
Trek,
going?
believe it or not.
Where's the budget going?
That new filming thing is enormously expensive. So the upfront costs, I'm guessing there's a lot there. I'm guessing that COVID is adding a lot to the costs. And I think they did spend a lot of money on getting the animation of Sandjaws done. Like, I'm sure
think
that
so,
took a shit ton of work to do that. And, you know, it's kind of like when you were watching the Orville, there was that one episode where, like, one shot was just really bad looking. But then there was the rest of the episode, it was like, it was outstanding. So, like, it's like they blew their either their budget in money or their budget in time to get all the shots done. And you could see where they kind of rushed at the end or cut corners at the end to just finish the episode.
Yeah.
I remember that. We were watching that.
And
Wait a minute.
I think sometimes it's more time than it is the actual money.
Agreed. But I mean, you could tell they put money in Sandjaws because his effects did look really good. Like,
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
shots
You
of the
can't
speeder
deny
bike
that.
that are like, that looks like shit. Or the repair droids when he lands in Mos Eisley, when with what's her name's help, they looked like they were just superimposed on the screen and they didn't belong in the same setting. It was so fucking bad.
I think where this film style that they're doing with the screens that they're setting up doesn't work very well for fast shots. So there's one scene in particular where it's near the end of the episode where he kind of like drift spins his bike to kind of turn around and take off from the scene. That looked really kind of like sped up for some reason. It just didn't look quite right.
Yeah.
And I think it's because that their filming method, they haven't there's actual lag between what's on the screens and where the camera can kind of catch up to adjust the picture, because it's rendering all this background stuff like a video game does. And so there's lag time of like, and it's very, very quick. I mean, we're talking like tenths of a second. But when you're talking about when you're filming at, 24 frames a second, it matters.
Yep.
Even if it's just a little bit of lag. And that's some of the technical details that they're still kind of working out, because I don't think it works it's great for like standing shots or like establishing shots. It works really well for that stuff. But for fast motion action, doesn't quite, it's not quite down yet.
It's still in
But
infancy. I do think it will get better quite a bit.
And
I
Ryan's
think-
actually correct here about, that was a cost-cutting measure. But in my video, I'll kind of explain like how they got away with it. So I need to finish that motherfucker tonight because, like I said, tomorrow I won't have time. So
I had a problem with the dragon or with the creature itself, but not the way it looked. I mean, other than it was like literally Sandjaws. like almost the shots were like right out of Jaws.
yeah, some of those shots were, yes, definitely.
Which isn't, I mean, it could be an homage and everything too, but it was just a little too on the nose. But it looked believable. Like, I believe that son of a bitch was like, a menacing, son of a bitch. Like, he didn't look cartoony at all. It was that special effects stuff there was very well done. Like, I don't like the idea that it's in a cave. I don't like the idea that it's burrowing underground. And this thing is like gigantic. I don't even know how big around that son of a bitch is, but like, how is he burrowing just underneath the surface and like the surface not caving in?
I know.
Like, so when he goes to that town, he's like just underneath the ground. Like, that whole main street should be now just this big cavern where the ground collapsed underneath where he was tunneling. Like, it's a world of sand. Like, like even if it was like hard clay or even a rock, that would cave in. So, like, just little tiny details like that.
I mean,
they
that
went
is Go ahead. Sorry, Greg. I thought you were done. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Kitty Bear. The reason they buried the explosives in the sand is because they were copying the plot of Knights of the Old Republic. Yes, and they actually just used mines instead of, because the thing wasn't that big, and it wasn't big in the old canon either. It was not, and it did not match. Like Daniel says, it does not look anything like the skeleton for New Hope. It's really, and like in my video, the second image of a Krayt Dragon I put on screen is from Disney's own canon. It's from an iOS mobile game called Star Wars Commander. That was their original canon look for it. So why would you contradict it?
In my head, I can dismiss it and go like that was like the ancient mother of all Krayt Dragons or something. You know, it would have been helpful if they would have thrown some dialogue in there about it. Like this was like an extremely unusual sized one. Like, oh, this thing must be super ancient. It must be like the first one ever or something like that. Or the, like, the mother.
Just watch my video. Like, it'll explain it. But yeah, you're right. They could have thrown some dialogue in there and, you know, gone into the lore of it because they never stop growing. That's one thing about Krayt Dragons. They grow until they die. So that one.
Yeah. Yep.
So if the thing is anciently big, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ryan says there are canyon Krayt Dragons and greater Krayt Dragons.
But then that motherfucker was in the canyon. That's one of the things that I'm going to talk about too. The big ones are not supposed to be in the canyon. So it's like they went to Wikipedia and they read something
and didn't
read. Yeah, and they didn't read the whole thing. I guarantee that's what they did.
Yeah, and
they tried,
shows that
but
Disney's canon is water. You know how much of their own canon they've contradicted in movies and shows and stuff? It's like, I know that the Cobb Vanth, the sheriff in this show, that we should get his backstory in flashbacks. It contradicts a lot of stuff that they said about him in Aftermath.
Yeah.
I mean, and then of course there's the whole thing with Poe Dameron in episode 9. His backstory, they contradict his own backstory in a sequel, like a prequel trilogy comic book. Like
here's the most egregious thing is when Rey and Poe meet. That's huge. You're two of the 3 top billed stars. Oh, we introduced them in The Force Awakens. Oh no, remember the novelizations are canon. Oh, forget that. They meet for the first time in The Last Jedi.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of funny with this show. Like, I get the distinct impression, like if you could get like Jon Favreau unplugged and like just off the record or whatever, I bet you he'd say like, I don't. If you asked him, I think he would honestly say like, I don't give a flying fuck about Wendig's books at all.
Right.
I'm not even I don't care what any of his books say.
The thing is, like,
I'm ignoring them.
They should have a lore person that everything has to go through. You know,
like the Lucasfilm story group.
Yeah, exactly. The Lucasfilm story group that doesn't do anything.
Well, and the funny thing is like if you go back on my channel, I did a video about The Mandalorian, and one of the big things I said about it, like heading in, like I think is like why I'm not going to buy into The Mandalorian. This is before like I think the season was even like really going yet, and it was like the time period, the setting is like this show could work. But what you have to do above anything else is you have to officially decanonize Aftermath. Get rid of the Wendig novels, and then this show could be interesting because now you could have more remnants of the Empire loitering around and causing issues and all that other stuff. You can't have them all die on fucking Jakku in a suicide mission just a couple, like 1 year after fucking Return of the Jedi. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And so like the last half of my video is like literally like you can save this, Disney, just decanonize Aftermath. If you decanonize Aftermath, you can even save the sequel trilogy movies as far as continuity goes.
Yeah.
And you know, I was saying that very, very early on. I'm like, just get rid of the Wendig shit. And I think Mandalorian kind of in a way is without officially doing so.
Yeah.
So if it's not following Aftermath canon, I'm like, good for it. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
I know that Aftermath is terrible. That's probably one of the worst books I've ever read. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Phasma book I think is still worse, but the point of it being
the
that they're
Phasma
not
book is the worst thing I've ever read in my life.
They've already put into place. That's my point about it. I mean, I wish they would just decanonize the shit out of those books because I remember when Aftermath came out, everybody's like, yes, we get to see what happens right after Return of the Jedi with our favorite characters leading up to The Force Awakens. Nope. No,
I legitimately bought that first book as like...
Ditto.
like I was excited. I'm like, okay, now time to figure out what happened. Like, because you watch Force Awakens, and like me, I wasn't like a Force Awakens hater like right away, and I'm like, okay, I need to know how like this, where the fuck this First Order thing is, and like how did the galaxy get to where it is? I need that explained.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's like 30 years in between the shit, so like maybe they'll explain it here. And I bought the first one, and I read it, and I'm like,
Okay.
ugh. And then the other ones came out, and I'm like, well, I like kind of started. I got to see it through, and that was a mistake. It didn't get better. It actually got worse. But yeah, it would, like, you can't. They really just should, like, and honestly, like, Wendig's the kind of person that you could decanonize Aftermath and just say, like, yeah, we fired Wendig for a reason. He's a piece of shit. Like, even if you want to go that route and just be like, we're distancing ourselves from the author and the shit he says, so we're decanonizing his work, or just go to like, this isn't the direction we want to go. It had a limited audience. It's now an alternate reality, or just it's Snap Wexley's, wet dream one night is the Aftermath books.
Snap Wexley.
There you go. Snap Wexley does exist in official canon. It was just his wet dream about his stupid Bones character and his mom.
What does he say about the TIE fighter?
Wibbly wobbly?
Yeah, so, what does the Doctor say in Doctor Who? He says, it's wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, so just take those books and, like, they're in an alternate reality and they're gone.
Wibbly wobbly,
Right.
timey-wimey.
Oh my gosh. It's...
I was like, is this Star Trek show I'm talking Mandalorian? This is what happens when we skip a fucking Raging Geek Jedi show.
I know, it's true. It's absolutely
We're behind
true.
on our conversations.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Lord Vader, what's up, man? The only way Disney's...
Hey, he heard us talking, so he showed up.
Yeah, he did. He's like, there's Mandalorian.
Well, the thing is like, I've said it, like, I've said it in other streams and things like that, or in the chats, is like, this episode, my biggest problem with the first episode, and I definitely shit on it, was it's completely unnecessary in the grand scheme of things. So, like, if you took the last 2 minutes of the episode,
yeah, that's
all you need to watch in order to be up to date on what's going on with the Mandalorian show. Otherwise, the entire rest of the episode is 100% skippable. All you need to know is at the end is he's on Tatooine and he's got Boba Fett's armor now. And there's Boba Fett. So, like, the last 90 seconds of the episode is all that matters out of 52 minutes. It's entirely skippable. You can go right from episode or chapter 8 right to chapter 10 and not really miss one single beat. Because there's no other development that occurs. Nothing happens with him as a character. Nothing happened. We didn't learn anything about him as a character. He barely spoke any lines again. I mean, I think he spoke more lines in fucking Tusken Raider talk than he has the entire fucking show in 9 episodes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly
The majority of his dialogue as a character has been more in Tusken talk than English. Basic. Whatever you want to call it.
Tuscanese.
Tuscanese, whatever the language is. Yeah, Tuscanese sounds right.
I'm not sure if it is.
When
Oh, wait, I got it.
Ryno's still listening. If Ryno's still listening.
Sorry.
Now that I've seen the episode, not just parts of it, I can confirm that yes, I did laugh when it showed Cobb Vance's profile standing in the door, and he was
that's from my video. I
piece
literally
of
laughed
shit wearing all
for
this
fucking
armor.
2 minutes. I paused it and laughed and laughed and laughed and fucking laughed so hard because I'm like, I'm
Timothy Oliphant is so svelte that
Yes.
it just looked so bad. Yeah,
But didn't cover
I don't know if that was the
anything
intent
either.
or
I'm
not.
like, so there's like over 50% of your body I can aim for.
It looks
and
like he
hurt you
had
with.
like oversized
It's the
pajamas on
armor that
underneath
doesn't
it.
make a difference.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like his undershirts he was wearing with it were like fluffing out like a pirate shirt, and it just didn't work.
It looked like he had a scarf on.
It was
It
Jerry's
looked kind of
pirate shirt. It
ridiculous.
was a red
He's
version
just
of it.
missing an ascot.
5 minutes of Tuscan speak, dude. It's like,
I timed the clip. It's like 45 seconds of that fucking noise without a single fucking subtitle.
Oh my god.
Like, because I actually, like, when I'm playing it, like, I'm not making the noises. This is from the fucking episode.
Hey, Story Man, Jack. What's up, man? Hey, Jack. How you
What's
doing?
up, Story Man?
He's like, they're
that's
choking on
funny.
Mando's dick.
People are popping in here like, hey, isn't this supposed to be a Star Trek stream? Like Greg said, we didn't have a Rage Geek Jedi show yesterday, so we have like some pin-up conversations.
You know, the thing is, before the stream started, to be like, well, we're starting kind of late, so we should get right into
We
the
gotta get this
episode.
done quickly.
And I think we spent more time talking about not Star Trek before we actually got to watching a Star Trek episode
I
than we
know.
ever have so far. It's kind of, you know, that's how this weekend's going.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh well, I'm having fun anyway. Sounds like a reverse dog park.
Reverse dog park. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know, like, who did the, like, I want to see the person, like, recording those noises, if it's actually a person. Because they got to be, like, red in the face and, like, choking and shit.
Hold on. Ben Burt used donkey brays, I think, originally.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. People thought it was like a sea lion, but it was actually donkey brays that he just screwed around with on his synthesizer.
Man, he was a fucking genius.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is a genius of sound. Like, they miss him on this show, because I'm pretty sure it ain't him.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I
the
don't think he's
music.
been-
The music.
He hasn't been in
Dude,
Star
was
Wars
I right about the music? The
Star-
score
man,
going
it
into
was-
Mos Eisley was way wrong.
Bad. Yeah.
It was terrible. It was like this weird. It felt like it belonged more in like Indiana Jones.
It
Like
did.
when they're trapped, when they're
That's
traveling.
what it was. That was it. Yeah. I remember thinking this sounds like something else I've heard from somewhere else.
I was expecting to see like the little red dots going across the map.
I know, right? Yeah, might as well have done that. Yeah.
And then that scene, I saw a lot of people liking this, but I didn't. Like when he's entering Mos, what is it, Pelgo? Is that?
Okay, singing. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. But when he's entering Mos Pelgo, and all these people are like, it's the equivalent of like shuttering their windows. It was just
It's
so
like
on
what I
the
said
nose.
in my fucking
Oh my
in my
gosh.
video review. It's like the when our hero strolls into a town in a western,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's a stranger!" Close
It's
your
like,
doors
you want
and
a
windows."
western? We'll give you a fucking western.
It was so. It's like that's what they thought of. Like, ooh,
Yeah, but like I
they
don't
wanted a
want
western.
spaghetti western. I want fucking like Unforgiven.
Space westerns. Yes. Yeah.
You know, like I don't want the fucking spaghetti western. I don't want. Oh, what did I say? Like it was in the chat and
sorry, guys.
Nerd Cookie stream. It was like the two amigos versus El Guapo the Sand Shark.
El Guapo the Sand Shark.
It was like such a cookie cutter thing. And the funny thing is we just watched back to Star Trek the Doomsday Machine episode, right?
Yep.
How did they kill the Doomsday Machine? They rammed a big explosive down its gut because the outside was impenetrable.
That's right.
Huh. This is a show that came out in 1966. Season
Not only
2?
that, but I guess he's lucky the teeth didn't get him, right?
No kidding. You're right. Exactly.
That would have been funnier if he was like flying out of the stomach, and like none of the stomach acid affected him either.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the thing
But,
splits
like-
acid, but he was okay when he came out.
But he came out. It would have been funny if he would have gone like tink off one of the teeth or something, like where it kind of spun him out of control.
Ripped him in half, and his like entrails are falling out. And they're like, "Oh well." Then the Comcast takes over as the
and
Mandalorian.
that's how we got rid of Pedro Pascal.
They're reshooting it now. No, they're probably filming scenes while they're currently filming the principal photography for The Rise of Skywalker. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still working on
they're
it.
still shooting that. Yeah.
They're still shooting the reshoots, pickups, and things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love that that's still a running joke because I think Gary said something about it on Friday Night Tights this week too. But all right, are you guys ready for some actual Star Trek now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so far back that I don't think my link is in the chat still. So if you guys want to watch along with us with Amazon Prime, there you go. There you go. Really quick, Lord Vader said, I liked the episode, but my biggest issue with the episode was the Great Dragon. It didn't look like fucking Great Dragon. It's exactly right. The giant space worm should have been that big. And the fact that they said it was in a...
Oh, that's small potatoes. My biggest issue is it didn't matter. Nothing in the episode mattered.
The thing is, like, my big... Like, okay, so... How the fuck is it in a Sarlacc pit? Why is a Sarlacc pit in a fucking cave, by the way? First off. That thing would never survive. It would just died out. So if it's in a cave, there's a Sarlacc pit in that cave, the thing probably just died of starvation. That's how it got in its cave. Because Sarlacc needs to feed off of something to survive. So why there's no food in the cave. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't get how Sarlacc survived at all in the first place. It's not like there's a plethora of creatures to feed on or something that large.
Yeah. I know.
I think that's why they take so long to
digest their food, so
because they can eat a
that,
bantha and be good for a long time.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
I'm ready for Star Trek.
Yeah, that's much.
Hey Moria, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Like the link.
No, Ryan, he just wants to make sure nobody else has the armor. It's like, nope, it's mine. Like, forget my entire mission, forget the kid. I'll just bum him off on some dude I just met yesterday while I go do this reckless maneuver. Don't even care about my core goal or mission that I'm on. Just fuck it all. I need to get this armor. Like, as soon as he saw that dude wasn't a Mandalorian, he should have been like, all right, fuck off, and just left. Keep the armor. Like, why does he even care that some random asshole has Boba Fett's armor? Like, I don't get why Mandalorians have, like, this fucking, like, dumbass attachment to a piece of metal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And I don't care if there's a ton of canon behind it. It's dumb.
The Sarlacc's name was Vol. It had servants keeping it supplied.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Alrighty. Yeah, we're on iMud. So, hey, what's up, Mongo? How's it going? It says Moira raid. Thank you, Moira, for that. I appreciate that. Nice.
Awesome.
And we are going to start the episode. The link is in the chat if you guys want to join us. And if you join us when we've already started, you'll pick up where we are.
Here we're going to make a very, very sharp turn from Mando to Star Trek.
Star Trek, yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Episode is titled iMud, Season 2, Episode 8. Here we go. And a mirror in the back behind Tim is showing where we are.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, tell that to SJWs. Labels don't make arguments.
The ears make all the difference.
Ooh. Some sharp dialogue there between the Doctor and Spock.
I love their back and forth.
Dude, he karate chopped him.
Literally karate chopped and he fell over.
This guy's moving awful funny.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell's he doing?
I love this particular piece of music.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Simple yet great.
Really good. Really good.
Crickets, we're doing a watch. Sorry, Wookie, we're deep into watching this episode of Star Trek. The link is in the chat if you want to watch and you have Amazon Prime.
That was a really good shot of the ship, by the way. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds like that guy was reading lines off of a cue card.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't understand
Holy
why
shit.
auxiliary controls can override the primary controls.
I know.
But
That makes no sense.
Unless you reroute it or something.
Maybe.
yeah. Ooh, random bad guy gets around.
Oh, double axe handle.
That was a
Double axe
badass
handle.
double axe handle. Double
Yeah,
axe
elbow.
handle. Uppercut double axe handle.
Whoa. Oh, I
fine.
crossed
Oh my
mine.
God.
Off the top ropes.
Wow.
That was Shawn Michaels right there.
It was, yeah.
Give him some chin music. That was bad.
I'll lay my head down real quick, yeah. Oh, shit.
Ooh, that's accelerating very fast.
Yeah.
You squeezed my bicep.
Why? Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Damn. Huh.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it, Spock.
No kidding. Could you ask? You guys better be careful. Kirk knows how to talk machines to death really good. So
That is a sexy belly button, though. Did you see that?
yeah, something for Apollo to meme. There you go. I still not gotten used to this new music. By the way, no matter what
Oh, the
comes to play, I
operatic
don't think I'll
intro?
ever. Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, still not used to it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it. It wasn't.
Dude, I read like a pretty long history on this several months ago, but I don't remember any of it.
No kidding.
There's quite a story on it.
Okay. I do like that DeForest Kelly is getting top billing now.
Yeah. That's my place and ours, so.
I Mud.
Damn, how many episodes did Mark Daniels direct?
I think
I
about
think he's directed every single one this season so far.
it's quite a few. It's in the teens.
It's a walking dead man switch.
Kirk talk himself out of
He's
that.
in low power mode.
Correct. Maybe let Starfleet Command know what's happening as well.
Yeah.
I
I'm sure they
assume
got
you,
the
you
communications.
messed with communications as
I'm
well.
guessing, yeah. Hey,
Hey,
it's
it's good
Chekhov.
Uhura and Chekhov are back this episode.
I know.
Yeah.
Glad they are.
They were like completely missing in the previous one.
It was like, fuck, he turned back on? That's funny one-man show.
Oh, well, since you put it that way, we'll come right down.
Should have just drawn a dick on his face while he was powered off.
That is one ugly sulfur ball.
What the world?
I think so. Did K-type appear before M class?
I don't know.
I guess it did.
Must-
Of course.
or Fenton. Ooh, imagine the hand job she could give.
I was going to say the same thing.
And then I'll kill you.
Just call him Gaius. Yeah, no kidding. Evil mustache trolling laugh.
And dramatic music.
Yes.
What was that? Like a 50s sitcom?
Yeah,
I'm
that
guessing.
was like I Dream of Jeannie music.
Yeah. One hell of an orgy.
Yeah.
500. backward planets. Hmm.
Ooh,
Wow.
I choose phaser. I love this. Like he's interpreting his shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my Lord Mud.
Yes, my Lord Mud.
Oh, this is awesome. I forgot about this.
Bitch wife drove him to be the man he is today.
The best part it hasn't even happened yet.
What?
Hey, come on.
And he made a version of his wife he could tell shut up.
Oh my
brilliant.
god, it is.
I'm liking this guy.
I think they
Kirk
like
is
it
like,
too. So
I kind of get you now.
he's like,
Because we don't like
I'm
you.
clipping that. I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that.
Yeah.
I am.
Do it.
Because we don't like you. This has to be the best comedic episode to date.
Oh, yeah.
God.
It's got some pretty sharp dialogue.
Yeah. Who wrote this one?
Ooh, that could be a quiz question.
Damn it.
Pretty advanced tech there.
Mm-hmm. Life alert necklace.
Yeah. Damn.
Would you say it's flashlight?
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
Oh, you just done pissed
Well,
off
then you might
Kurt.
as well snap his neck.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The same guy wrote all 3 Mud episodes.
Nice.
Okay.
Stephen Candell. But it looks like David Gerald touched this one up.
including immortality. Yep.
Chekhov is going to get it on.
Yeah, yes.
Why do androids need clothing?
Yeah.
They should be naked.
Yep.
We are from Japan.
He's like, can I use the shocker technique? Nice. We are fully functional. Yeah, exactly, man, show. Fully functional. Wink, wink. Yeah.
Programmed in multiple pleasuring techniques.
Yeah. That's a good question, one man show.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah.
Uh-oh.
On your knees.
He's going to talk her to death.
Hard reset.
Man, he's good at that.
Really good.
Yeah. Spock got a look.
Yeah, he did. My God.
I will use the boner you can clearly see. Jeez.
Interesting.
Chiant? It's a bird.
Oh my god.
Beep, 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 beep.
No kidding, right?
Flatline.
Love it.
Oh.
That was great. What?
Yeah. The Bugs Bunny line.
Huh.
Oh, there's the smoke.
There it happens.
There needs to be like a course at Starfleet Academy on talking artificial intelligence to death.
I know, right?
He needs to fall over now. Oh, I love this.
That's not all.
Where's that one been?
I know, right?
That's not all.
But wait, there's more.
Number 500.
Arcorn!
It doesn't matter if that lady ever played anything before or after. That's like
Yep. Oh,
the perfect
Arcorn!
casting.
Stella Mudd.
I don't even know who that lady is.
I know.
Yep.
Wow. What a perfect ending. What a way to
No
end.
kidding. It really was.
Yep, he got
Really
his
was.
comeuppance.
All right, trivia time. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
It was funny.
Yeah. I mean, the dialogue.
Probably the funniest one that we're going to come across, honestly.
That was, yeah, I actually...
That
enjoyed
one's
one.
tough to match.
Now, there's probably a few other purposefully comedic ones that I can see you seeing as overrated, Greg. I won't name any names, but...
Oh, now I'm curious. Don't do that.
I'll bring them up when we get to them.
All right.
But yeah, that was funnier than I remember it being. The dialogue was, in a lot of places, brilliant. So
Yeah, I thought it was particularly well written.
the opening scene in that corridor was hilarious. So
Yeah, I mean, right from the get-go in that episode, like it set the tone for what you were gonna get, like just right away. Which I like.
So the really nerdy thing is, you know how I had told you we were playing the role-playing game back in the day, the FOSSA one, and actually FOSSA lost the license because Roddenberry and them said they were making Star Trek too warlike. But anyway, so I told you, like, on the crew we had a kid from the Miri planet, you know, because they were really 300 years old, but you know they were still young. So it's like, haha, this is just a kid, and it's like, yeah, they're 100 times older than you are, or whatever, 10 times older than you are. And then we had one of these androids in the crew, you know, because we saw TNG, and it's like, hey, look, Data, where can we get an android? Well, there's a whole planet of them. So somehow, you know, one of them escaped. But anyway, nerd stuff. Man, this seems like it was an age ago.
Yeah,
I know.
Trivia's going to be a little bit shorter than normal since I did not do any for the
Cat's paw.
Cat's Paw.
Thank you very much, sir.
I just could not bring myself to watch that episode again. Like, I tried, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't.
Greg, you
I'm like, what am I
didn't
gonna
watch the episode.
I'm like, once is enough. I don't want to see it again.
I swear,
not a
that's
good
where
episode.
Paul Bearer got that voice from. I mean, you have
Must
Had to have been.
Yeah, must have.
Oh, Undertaker.
Yeah. Well, and I just I skipped around it, and I'm like, there's really so little actually happens in the episode. Like,
It's true, yeah.
I don't even know what I'd write trivia on
Yeah,
because it just
it's
an episode that ultimately just didn't matter at all. And that's fine. Like, again, like the criticisms like people have of the modern Star Trek, it's like, what, these things are just one-off episodes though, right? So like when you have a bad one, it doesn't damage the whole season. You just move on to the next episode. You go, that one sucked, the next one will be better.
right.
Which, for the most part, when we've had bad episodes, the next one's been like a really good one.
Yeah, and they were
we had-
self-contained. Yeah,
Right. You had the cat one, but then you had Doomsday. So like,
yeah,
and even an episode like this one's a fun episode, not very science fiction-y, but a fun episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what I really want is, like, I want to travel back in time and visit them, like, filming this particular episode, this I Mud episode, when they're doing this silly shit, like, how many takes that actually took,
Had to be
and, like, how many times they broke character or whatever because it was just so stupid and silly. Like, I'm Spock, and I'm going to pretend to be throwing a bomb or plastique at Harry Mudd, and, like, can we just imagine, like, DeForest Kelly's, like, giving him fives for when he's demanding items, like, that had to be like a couple takes. Somebody had to break character
yeah.
at least once or twice, because I mean, it was just so silly.
Yeah.
But in a fun way. Like, so that'd be the kind of, like, behind the scenes stuff that I would really be kind of curious to be like, how many takes did this actually take?
No kidding.
Right.
And that'd be the kind of questions I would ask if I were to go to a convention and actually be able to, like, ask a question, like, in the microphone or whatever. Wouldn't be like one of those to be like, talk about the first interracial kiss for the 3,000th time at a convention, Kirk. Like, I wouldn't ask questions like that, or I wouldn't be like, you changed my life. I'd be like, honestly, how many takes did this particular episode, like, it was a really funny episode, like, what was the atmosphere on the set when you were filming this one versus some of the other ones? Like, questions you think that they probably been asked, but, like, not nearly as frequently.
Right.
Take me back to this episode. Like, was this one a particular hard one to do or a fun one? Like, what was, like, or, even ask somebody like a Shenner, because, I mean, these guys are actors, so they all have this kind of, like, I don't want to say all, but, like, most actors have like, hey, when you did the character, like when you were, what was the episode where he's like possessed by like evil being or whatever? It was an early season 1 episode where Kirk was like Insano Kirk.
The enemy within.
Oh yeah.
Enemy within, like,
Yeah.
like how did you get into that character versus some, like your normal character? Like, were you thinking? What was your process? Like, things like that. Be like, who were you, like, what other character were you trying to channel through there? Because that's actually some, that's
that
something
SNL
that's actually
skit.
Curious. Yeah.
That SNL skit, from the early 90s where, oh man, that's a great skit. But I think it was Chris Farley got up in there in line and he's like, hey, on this episode, and he asked some kind of lore question. And Shatner, it was really Shatner, and he's like, he just looks at him like, what the fuck? I don't know the answer to this. If you've never seen that skit, go find it. It's hilarious.
I can't think of one Star Trek actor that's like deep into the lore. Like, you ask them things like super deep cut lore stuff.
Yeah.
They're not going to know, but like, so they're actors. Like, you got to play up to their egos and things like that. So at a convention, like, ask them like what it was like to play a particular character, or who they got their influence out from to play this particular role. Especially episodes where they are possessed by other characters, so they get to play. Because actors, especially ones that have to do a TV show, and maybe not so much for the original series because it only lasted for 3 seasons, and one of them was broken apart, so there was like a year-long break in between. But when you're like on your 8th, 9th season, the actors start to get very, very bored with their role because they're playing the same character with the same emotions, the same motivations over and over and over and over again. So when they get a chance to play somebody different because they're possessed or whatever, it's like they kind of perk up a little bit and be like, oh, I get to do something different this time. And that's the stuff that they usually will remember. So if you want to get them to like really talk at length about something, that's the kind of questions you go for. And that goes for Star Trek actors or, any kind of convention actors and things like that. Pick something where they get to play something really different and ask them questions related to that. Or episodes that are particularly funny or silly or whimsical, and be like, what was it like to be on set? Was it an issue with people breaking character? Or like, who broke character the most when you were filming this particular scene? Yeah. And that'd be stuff that I think actors would tend to remember more than like, in this episode they said dilithium crystals do this, and then in this episode they do this. These actors are going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a Starfleet engineer. I don't know this shit. I just read the dialogue.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a very generic boilerplate answer from them on those kind of questions versus where you ask them motivations about the characters and things. You're likely to get them to talk. And having been to a number of conventions, that's usually the way they go, is when you get them talking about things like that, they're much more energetic and enthusiastic and descriptive in their storytelling than they are just, simple, what was it like to, when they get it's the same generic answers. So they give it's a boilerplate question, you get a boilerplate answer.
Yeah. Before we get into the trivia, just a really quick story. In the early 90s, I would watch anything Star Trek, and I found this thing for rent, this tape. It was an hour and a half or so long show with Nimoy and Shatner on stage at some convention. It was just them two up there just doing a thing. And one of the questions they got asked was, can you reenact a scene since both of you are up there? So they're like, yeah, we're going to reenact the scene from Devil in the Dark with the Horta. And the crowd's like, oh, cool. So they have like stools, that they're sitting on, and they're sitting there, and Spock has his hands up, and it's like, my mind, blah, 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 and all this. And he's like, the pain. And then Shatner says, get this man some aspirin. And then that was like the end of the skit. So they kind of like, they screwed with the crowd on that one. But it was hilarious. So
see, I would like that. As a convention goer, that would amuse me. Like, I wouldn't want them to do the scene like verbatim.
Yeah.
But like have, poke fun of it a little bit. Like, so when you're outside of the actual show environment, you can have fun with the tropes and the funny stuff and the goofiness about Star Trek. Like, when we're watching these shows, like, I take Star Trek very seriously, but I can watch these shows with and have a little bit of irreverent fun with it.
Yeah.
But like, it's a very different thing when you're doing it in show, where you're like almost breaking the fourth wall with the audience and like winking at the camera, like with a self-referencing joke to its own material. And that's why I hate Lower Decks so much. It's because that's really all Lower Decks does, is that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, like, you don't get to make fun of it within the show. You're in character, you're in universe. Like, you want to have fun, like, at a convention and joke about the characters and some of the tropes. That's funny shit. I'll laugh along with you, good stuff. But, like, don't do that and then call it canon. Like, that, you can't do that. At least for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been to, like, I've actually been to quite a few Star Trek conventions. I can admit that now in my later years.
Yeah.
And because now it's actually like going to a convention is considered like almost like pop culture cool. Like, I was going to conventions where like you didn't even tell some of your closest friends you're going to a Star Trek convention because they'd make fun of you for like, a year. Like, oh, you gotta put your Vulcan ears on. And, like, I never dressed up when I went to a convention. I went in regular clothes, like maybe a Star Trek t-shirt. That was about it. Like, I never went in costume. I thought the people that went in costume were pretty cool, because back then you couldn't buy kits to be a Vulcan or be a Klingon. I mean, these people were creating this shit like entirely on their own, handcrafting this stuff. So they actually put a lot of work, and I respected the work they put into it. I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, when I was going to these conventions in the late 90s, it was not a cool thing to do was go to a con. Cons were for fucking losers.
Yeah.
So, like, people in the modern day, they think they, especially young'uns, they think they know, like, nerd culture and things like that. It'd be like, you got to understand, like, nerd culture back in the 80s and even into the early 90s, like, nerd culture wasn't the cool thing. You were a social outcast. It was not, like, you didn't go to school on Monday and go, oh man, I went to a Star Trek convention on Saturday. It was awesome. Like, you kept that shit to yourself. That's where I come from in my nerd history. Like, I was into it before it was even remotely cool. It was like the opposite of cool. It was the shit that if you weren't a very big person, you got like stuffed in the lockers for, right? And unfortunately, I didn't have that problem. I was.
Fortunately, I was big, so.
Yeah, nobody was fitting me in a locker.
I've been this big since I was 14 years old, so.
Oh yeah, you see, you were the guy that could issue the thumpings rather than be the recipient. So I was never intimidated physically by being into the thing, but it was like, this was not the stuff that was going to get you a date on Friday night. Okay.
Yeah.
This was the stuff where like, ew, nerds. And that's like, I think like young people who are into this stuff now really don't understand what it was like. I mean, like, you guys think that, like, fucking having your pronouns wrong is like a big, horrible ordeal to go through on fucking Twitter. Like, yeah, try being in the nerd culture back in the 80s when it was not fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, even Star Wars wasn't cool, like, after, like, 1985. Like, it was, like, being a Star Wars person into it, like, into the late 80s, that wasn't cool anymore.
Nope.
Like, you were a dork. So, that's where I come from, and that's, like, I have a little bit different feeling, I think, than definitely younger people who've never had to experience that. Because for most of their lives, it's never been, like, the thing that gets you ostracized from, like,
this is from,
make you a social outcast.
This is from 1987, and if you were playing this game, then yeah, it probably wasn't something that is going to make you the prom king. So
right. I mean, you learned to kind of seek each other out, and like, you kind of form some of your friendship groups based on that. But even a lot of times within your friendship group, like, you weren't necessarily like loud and proud into that stuff. It was kind of the stuff that, like, you guys did and you like had in common with your other friends, but you weren't wearing it on your sleeves and like talking about it like openly in public. Be like,
Yeah.
oh man, the D&D game last Saturday was awesome. Like, no,
Yep.
it just didn't. It didn't work that way.
Yeah. You guys ready to start?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. Let's see how many points you get.
Me? Probably a few.
Nice.
All right, starting the countdown. So this is just on the Doomsday Machine episode, so there's no
Okay.
stuff in this one. So, question 1. What system does the Enterprise encounter the Doomsday Machine in?
Oh, man.
Dang it.
Golly. I totally missed that.
I narrowed it down to 2. Hopefully I got it right.
Which 2 did you narrow it down to?
E and A.
Correct. So A is the first one they actually visit where they notice planets have been destroyed.
Yeah.
But it's actually A is the one where they encounter the Doomsday Machine.
So because I said L337 when they said the number. Yeah. So
Point
I got it
for
wrong.
Greg.
I picked the E. So
Points for me. Yeah, I put that other one in there just as a, like, in
know.
case you guys were close, I could throw you out. Because I'm mean. What ship did the Enterprise find adrift? This one should.
Hey, those are good options, though.
absolutely.
These are all Constitution class ships.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is not C.
But you guys are both correct. It is the Constellation. Heat Blend answered quicker. Question number 3. Who is running the communication station on the Enterprise in Step Uhura?
Rando.
Oh shit! It's right. Yeah. I don't remember who it was.
It was very weird that her and Chekhov were not in this episode. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what they were doing with casting, because then there's, like, other episodes where, like, Sulu and Scotty weren't in, like, at all either. It was just kind of, I don't know if there's budgetary reasons or what. Maybe it was, like, Shatner writing them out.
Yeah.
It is not Lieutenant Hadley. It's Lieutenant Palmer.
Okay.
Hadley's someone else.
Yep.
Hey Jason, what's up, man?
Hadley is a character, but not this particular. So, more points for me. Where did they find Decker?
I know that one. Did they ever reveal if he's related to the guy from Motion
Decker
Picture?
from the motion picture? I don't know.
think they did. If they did, it's like in a non-canon book or something.
Yeah. Both got it correct. It's the auxiliary control room.
Hey, Blake.
Looks like Tim got, very, very close. Tim answered much quicker on that one.
Yep.
Now it's a 36-point game.
I had to
Question
think
number
for just a second.
5.
Ooh.
What planet did Decker beam his crew down to?
Oh, shit.
Damn it. Man.
I have zero clue. Oh, I remember it now.
So there were 2 planets left in the system that were uninhabitable. One was molten lead. The other one was poisonous gas in it. It was the 3rd planet that they were beamed down to.
Shit.
Under what regulation does Decker assume command of the Enterprise?
Damn, dude.
Know your Star Trek law.
Oh, come on. It's all just a bunch of random numbers to the writers. It's
Correct.
probably not even the format's not even consistent. General order and section.
It's like the Ferengi laws of acquisition. just kind of made up as they go.
Rules of acquisition.
Rules of acquisition. Yeah.
Those were amazing, by the way.
Some of them were downright fucking funny. I mean,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
give them that. Some of them were just funny.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were close. It's 104B. 104 Section C would allow Spock to take control back based on a medical certification. Just for you
Jeez.
Federation law students out there.
Wow. Federation law students.
Yeah.
Don't go into school telling people you know your Federation law either.
Question
Not
number
gonna impress
7.
the chicks.
Yeah. Who helps Kirk repair the viewer on the Constellation?
Oh, shit. I know I picked wrong, but... Dang it.
And it was kind of a weird moment in the episode because Scotty goes to him like, come with me to help repair the engine. And then Kirk is like, you help me do this thing. And he's kind of like, well, I guess I'm going to listen to the captain.
Yeah.
Points for Greg. Lieutenant Washburn.
Damn.
Man alive.
Will you guys end up in positive territory? I think you guys can. If you get negative 200 in each of the remaining 3 questions, you might end up with 1 and 37 points. Spock to Decker. Vulcans never blank.
I missed it. Dang it. I should be able to change my answer. Because it is actually a D.
It is bluff.
I picked
Bluff,
that.
bluff, bluff. That could be the game decider here, folks.
Yeah.
2 more to go. Question number 9. How many megatons... This is well worded here. How many megatons is a result of the impulse engine overload explosion? How many megatons do they say it is? And this is kind of a real funny thing because this really isn't that many megatons.
Yeah. And then, yeah, because doesn't, like, Kirk repeat it when Scott says it? How many megatrons? That's right, Blake. Well, it's either A, B, or it's D.
Yeah.
Because he says...
It's a decimal.
Correct, yeah.
It is A.
Fuck, Tim got that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh!
Doesn't matter,
this game-
though.
No, I could go on this last question. So the funny thing about that is like 97 megatons is not really that big of an explosion when you consider what our thermonuclear weapons can produce.
Yeah.
That's like 100 megaton bomb is not that big of a deal. I mean, it's a big deal, of course, if it goes off, but like we're able of producing that now with just conventional thermonuclear weapons. Like,
Well,
so
if they didn't have an expert on set, they didn't have an internet, so, and I doubt that's like in an encyclopedia. They had a lot of issues like that on the show where even if you have a set of Funkin' Wagnalls, there's a lot of stuff that just wasn't in them at that time. So
Yeah.
right. And see, at the time, in the arms race, I think at the time the Russians detonated that one Tsar bomb thing that was like 50 megatons, like in like the North, the North Atlantic or whatever, the Arctic Sea. And that was like a 50 megatonner. So like, figure, okay, in the future, hundreds of years in the future, could we produce, like, would the engines produce double that? Probably.
yeah.
Or like way more than double that. They should have said like 1,000 gigatons or something. It's kind of it's just kind of funny. Like when you go back and you watch it, it'd be like, 97 megatons is not that much.
That's correct, Kitty Bear. You still don't want to stand next to it.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, you don't roast marshmallows in a 97 megaton explosion.
Correct.
Last question. Whoops. Damn it. How many seconds is the impulse engine overload timed for?
Oh man, I missed that one too. Dang it.
You just too quick on clicking, huh?
Yeah, because I don't want to not click fast. But it's the last one. It's actually E.
Nope. It's not. It's B.
That's
Oh,
what I picked.
okay.
It is 30 seconds. 30 seconds initially. And then they count down from there. Like once they figure like they get the transporter fixed, and then it breaks down again. And there's like 20 seconds left or whatever.
Wow.
Geek Blend with a commanding victory this time. Not in the grand scheme of things, you got a ways to go yet, Jeff, to catch up to our overall points leader, but this definitely will help.
Yep.
And I don't think if you guys scored this on this episode, which you guys liked, I'd hate to see what you guys would have gotten on
Cat's Ball.
on Cat's Paw.
Well,
ironically, we might have done better because some of that stupid shit would just stand out.
No,
you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's a possibility.
Maybe.
Good lord.
Be like, how many times does the cat hiss
Yeah. All points back.
in the entire episode?
Or
So I have to,
how
I
many
have to watch the entire
how many-
episode and like tally it up.
how many skeletons were chained to the wall? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, questions like that would be very, very difficult. Yeah, and if you think these are difficult, wait till you get to tomorrow night's trivia contest when we do Mr. Megatron's Transformers the animated movie questions.
Jesus.
I was just typing them in today into the system here, and I can tell you with certainty, I would, unless I just happen to guess lucky, whew,
Guts, huh?
I would not do particularly well. So if you have an opportunity between now and tomorrow night's Monday night trivia stream,
I'm going to try.
I would suggest maybe watching the episode or reading the synopsis of it with some character details, because Megatron did not make it easy.
That's good, though. I'm glad.
I don't know if Megatron's still in the
Blake
chat.
said,
there,
oh, fuck.
but yeah, I'm
Interesting
still.
to see this, man. Yeah.
I have it on DVD, but I just don't
do
have
I.
time.
It's a good movie, but like some of the, like I haven't seen it in so long. Like there's just no, I like. there's some questions that would definitely make me kind of just go. And I don't even have all the questions or the categories done yet for tomorrow. So like I got some work to do tomorrow morning after I go get my rotten tooth fixed. Because it's killing me.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, I love going to the dentist. It's my favorite thing in the whole fucking world. Well, I go when I don't go as often as I should, which leads to problems like this. Because like as far as doctors and dentists things go, I only go if I'm like 90 over 90% dead. That's my general threshold. Like if I'm not 90% dead, I'm not. The categories I do have ready for tomorrow night. Yeah. I have there'll be a category for Back to the Future Part 1,
Wow.
Sean Connery,
Oh, there.
Transformers, and How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh.
Will be our TV series.
Oh, very nice.
So, and those will be. I can tell you, Transformers is going to be tough. Sean Connery probably medium. Back to the Future medium. How I Met Your Mother medium
Okay.
difficulty. Definitely some guessable answers. Some other ones a little bit changed. But, and then the last category is probably going to be tag since everybody's out so much.
Blake, probably not. Probably not, but you could watch like YouTube recaps on each season, maybe to get a little bit hint of it.
Oh, what? How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe read up, a wiki page about the main characters.
There you go.
Might get you at least a decent score. I mean, you won't catch everything, obviously, in that, but if you get the gist of what each character is, probably make an educated guess. I don't know. But yeah, I did like that show That was one that I set time to watch when it came out. Oh, the new episode's coming out.
Ryno says that's only 4 categories.
Taglines.
Taglines, of course. Taglines.
Taglines will be the last category.
Blake says, great, I have homework.
Well, Blake, I'm not going to make it easy for you to capture your championship back.
Yeah, you're coming in tomorrow looking for that crown to come back to you, Blake. I get it, man. I get it. It's going to be fun. And Ryno will be joining us tomorrow, too, so we will have Ryno as well. And I have some other people I think that might be popping in as well besides Christy, so yeah.
Ryno, answer me on Twitter for a minute, please. I DM'd you.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, it's getting late. I know we will all have to get up tomorrow and have lots of stuff to do. So I think we're going to call it a night on our Star Trek watch party. Yeah, that'll really put you to sleep, Kitty Bear, or to make you so mad you can't fall asleep. There you go.
I will give you a hint for the Sean Connery. You will not need to know any James Bond.
Because that's a lot of, I mean, yeah.
I didn't do any James Bond.
Okay, so no James Bond questions. Okay. All right.
No James Bond. So if you want to study up in Sean Connery, you can comfortably skip the James Bond.
He's got so much stuff beyond that, too, that it's just...
Oh, yeah, the guy's had a pretty good career. Like, I was going through his IMDb page today, and I'm like, dang, I forgot he was in some of these movies.
And he's in the opening of the show, too, so...
I know that you have...
well, in impersonation.
I know that you have... I think you suggested that as a category, Daniel. On
yeah, that's why I skipped it, because I am probably going to do a James Bond quiz separately. So I didn't want the crossover. That's one of the reasons why I skipped it.
Correct. Yes.
I didn't think so, Ryno. That's why I was asking. I'm like that. I'm like, why would you do that? Like,
that's why I was wondering why if you were asking that. Yeah, yeah. But it'll be tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's trivia. It's gonna be fun. Really looking forward to it. So,
everyone, get your ass in there.
Yeah, everybody get ready for it. I mean, he gave you guys a hint. So people who weren't here didn't get a hint of what we're going to be doing. So
maybe that'll make that an extra incentive for people to watch the Sunday night Star Trek stream, is to get like a heads up on the trivia, or at least go back and watch the end of the replays.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just a watch just for the video. Like, what are the hints going to be for this trivia?
Good idea.
Yeah, that's going to be at the end. We should start doing that. I think you're right. At the end of the this Sunday night watch parties, you say what tomorrow's categories are right before we end it, so people have to come back and watch it. But yeah,
accidental pocket hide.
Well, I just thought it was like, I immediately unhit it because I'm like, that didn't make sense. And
I agree. I was about to do it. Yeah.
I'm like that.
I hope it wasn't an accident that didn't involve something that wasn't your hand.
Every Aussie should be here tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, no, because it's a holiday only in his particular area, isn't it?
I thought it was the entire country for this one.
Was it the entire country?
I think so. I think so. Oh wait, no, maybe it's not. Because didn't he say something to Lyndon about it? And Lyndon's like, I don't have it off, or something like that. Or was that last time? Maybe Lyndon said he didn't have it off last time.
I don't know. It's just bizarre to me to actually make a holiday of a sporting event. Like they don't do it for any of ours. Like they don't do it for hockey, Victoria. Football.
Got it.
Baseball, none of it.
Does Canada do it for hockey, or?
I don't think so.
Or curling?
No, I don't think so.
They did.
It's just
National Curling Day.
So yeah. Daniel says they just have tomorrow off for other reasons, so that's good.
Victoria has so little to celebrate; they really got to focus on sports.
Anthroparian, we hopefully we'll see you tomorrow as well.
Hell yeah, man!
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, looking forward.
Yeah,
to it.
I really want to keep growing this trivia thing into where we're getting 50 people playing. Is the tier that we have for the site that hosts these? We can have as many as 100 players in a particular game. So obviously, I don't want to get quite up to 100 where we're turning people away. So, and the next tier up to support more than that is a substantially higher cost, a lot.
Yeah,
like $100 more a month.
That's insanity.
And I don't want to quite grow that hard, that far, but yeah.
Correct.
I would like to see us get around the 50 mark to make it a little bit more fun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And to change it up so it's not Blake and Jedi Lukey winning every goddamn contest. As much as I appreciate having them here and having
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
it is kind of funny. As long as Mega Jetty doesn't win, we got to keep him down.
I think, actually, how many people we have
Kidding,
playing
Mega
last
Jetty, if you're listening.
Okay, it's getting in the hours right. In Italy, a bad time zones to play long. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, tomorrow night in America at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we're going to start. So, and then I believe we're having a Friday night stream after Friday Night Tights for trivia too. So we're still working out the details. Not 100% sure, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more, and then we'll figure it out. So we'll let you guys know for sure. So, but Greg, thanks again for making the trivia for us tonight. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
And Tim, thanks again for joining us here.
Yay, fun.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for having me.
That was a funny episode. I loved that it was just a really funny episode. Yeah.
So this kind of shifts, where we're at. So it means metamorphosis, and then let's see what's next. Do you have it up still?
I'm looking at it right now.
Metamorphosis and something.
Next it is Metamorphosis and Journey to Babel.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Are there any in this season that you guys are like one of your favorite episodes?
Let me check here. Oh, I'm sure.
We did.
Oh.
We did. You guys know about Doomsday Machine.
Let me look at them really quick. I like that. I like Journey to Babel. That's great.
Good. Good.
Piece of the Action is in my top 3.
Oh, wow.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's some good ones in this one.
Good.
But that's probably, the only one I'd say is in my top 5.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one too, though. So is that one. Oh, Assignment Earth. It's really different, but it's fun.
That's the finale, yeah.
Trouble with Tribbles is this season, so that's a good one.
I'm not that crazy about Trouble.
See, that's the one I was talking about. That I knew that I know you, and I knew you wouldn't be a fan of that.
It's like another Klingon episode, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, it is got Klingons in it, but
yeah,
it's about something else besides that. Yeah.
I'm looking at this. Oh, God, I haven't seen some of these episodes in a long time. You don't like the Gamesters of Triskelion?
Yeah, it's okay.
The crown becomes a burden. More competition would somehow ease my mind, I think. LOL. Nice, Blake. Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. So everybody bring your A game for this one. This is gonna be a good one. So,
yep.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you everybody here in the chat for being here, and thanks for everybody watching along with us too. We had a couple extra people watching along.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see. But we will be back tomorrow night for the trivia stream. And until next time, I'm Jeff, and that's Greg, and that's Tim. We will see you guys next time. Later.
Good night.